There, so I would like to introduce Sister Miriam. She's the new Director of Mission Advancement for the community here. She just finished 7 years working in the Vocations Office. She is originally from Dublin, Ireland. And as you may know, some people who come from a different country struggle with the English language. But I found that Sister really has a very good command of the English language. But you may notice a slight accent. So here we are, Sister Miriam.
Thank you, Adam. Or now tar nav gan for that and godaga the ria gan through the holler and half. No, that's
I take back everything I said.
that's Gaelic. I'll switch to English. So first of all, I'd really like to welcome each one of you here this evening. It's just wonderful to see so many of you. Thank you for your ongoing support of our community and for coming out here this evening. Before I start, I would like to share a short clip, not from the Franciscan movie, but it's a short 3-minute clip from YouTube. If we can pull that up when you're ready, that would be great. I think it's a clip that points to our theme of one body in Christ. And also it points to how much we rely on one another and need one another and support one another through the ups and downs of life. So, thank you.
When troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stormy seas, I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
So it's a very moving clip, and just following from that clip, I would like to just take a moment to ask the moms and dads of our sisters who are present here tonight, if you can just stand. because we'd just like to honor you and just really thank you for the ways that you have walked with your daughter, our sister, over so many years, the ways that you've supported her through thick and thin, the ways that you've been there for her, the ways that you provided for her and for her needs, and for us too as your adopted daughters. And just for the ways that you have fostered an environment in which she felt free to discern religious life. So I just really would like to thank you, Richard and Suzanne here, your Sister Sarah Rose's parents, and Rich and Linda, Sister Anna Rose's parents, and Ray and Anne Schratz, their parents of our postulant, Mary Kate. Thank you. And also, Paul and Shirley are over in the other side of the house, so they're going to see this through live stream, but just to honor you as well, and just to really say thank you for, your presence in our lives and for all that you have done for us. I'd also like to thank and honor all of our employees and volunteers who give of their time to help and support us in a variety of ways. I'd like to honor Kana, Lindsay, William, Carol, Kathy Murata and Kathy Glass, Cecilia, Teresa, Joseph, Paula, Barb, Sue, and members of the Gugala family. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Barb. Is Barb here? She was going to come down. Okay, she's still upstairs. Okay, so Barb through the live stream, hello. Barb is 90, and she comes here 4 days a week to help answer phones for us and do various household tasks. And Barb has the most wonderful sense of humor, so she keeps us laughing too. And you might know this, but we don't normally watch TV as sisters, but once a year, Barb invites us to her house to watch the Super Bowl. And the rules of the game are explained to us all over again. So I'd like to thank all of you who support us in a variety of ways. Most importantly, we would like to thank you for your prayers for us. And just to illustrate the power of prayer in fostering and supporting religious vocations, I would like to show a photograph. It does go back a little bit in time, so it goes back to 1946. But it's a tiny village in Italy called Lu, and they only had a few thousand inhabitants. But from just a few thousand inhabitants came 323 priests and religious, so it's coming. 152 priests and 171 nuns. And one family had 7 religious vocations in one family. So it's a really powerful image there. Every year they would come together. And sorry, that's not even all of them, because some of them were in enclosed convents and they weren't able to come. But that's just a striking visual. And you might ask, well, what was the difference? Very specific prayer for vocations. The parents gathered every Tuesday for adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, asking the Lord, begging the Lord for vocations. They also received Holy Communion on the first Sunday of every month for the same intention. And after Mass, they prayed a particular prayer together, begging the Lord for vocations to the priesthood and to religious life. And we know that many of you keep us in your daily prayers. Prayer is the oxygen that sustains our vocations. And we're very aware that our vocations rest on the yeses of our parents, of our spiritual fathers and mothers, and each one of you who prays for our vocations and our community. So 20 years ago, I had not the faintest idea that I was going to be a religious sister living in America. I had not even set foot in the United States 20 years ago. I was living in Ireland, as Adam said, where I was born and where I grew up. And I was working for PwC, one of the big 4 global accounting and auditing firms in the world. I worked as a CPA and also a tax consultant. So I had to charge every 6-minute block of time to either a client code or an admin code, every 6 minutes. I worked for a boss who, she typically worked through the night. So she would leave early in the morning, maybe 7 a.m. She would go home for 3.5 hours of sleep, and she would come back in and she would work through the rest of the day and through the night. So when I would come in the morning for work, there was a slew of emails that were sent throughout the night. Of course, you can see the times. I had purchased a nice piece of property, had a company car option, and I enjoyed traveling the globe. Now, I had performed a very rudimentary discernment process earlier in my life, after I realized that all nuns eat cabbage every day. So this was because my nose was assaulted by the smell of boiled to a pulp cabbage every time I visited a particular convent close to my home. Now, since I was not a particularly big fan of cabbage, which I know is a somewhat treasonous comment, given where I come from, and since nuns obviously ate cabbage every day, I drew the conclusion that I was obviously not called to the vocation. And I quite happily drew a line through it. I had another phrase in here, but I was told by a sister that that's not said over here. So when I came over to take a few classes at Franciscan University of Steubenville in 2005, fully intending to return to Ireland, mind you, I started to notice these grey habits in these white veils that did not have even the slightest whiff of cabbage swirling around them. I was so shocked. And I wondered, who are these women? Who are these women who spend 5 hours of prayer per day, who spend 2.5 hours of adoration per day, who set times aside for intercession, for the intentions that are sent into them, who fast on Wednesdays and Fridays, who were contemplative but not enclosed, active in the community, working on college campuses, working in our downtown ministries, working, doing retreats and parish missions. I just found them intriguing. And so I'd like to show you a photograph that I think in a somewhat humorous way depicts who we are and what we do. Whenever you're ready. Yeah. Okay. So this is a real photo taken a few weeks ago in Pittsburgh Zoo. And you can see Sister Grace Ann there in her motorized wheelchair. There was a display, an Asian display, and so this is her heading in. And so I think what it depicts and what we see here is that in spite of our weaknesses, our physical, our emotional, spiritual limitations, and we have plenty, with the help of our crucified spouse and our Blessed Mother, we face down the forces of darkness and generate spiritual life through living out our consecration and through our lives of prayer, intercession, fasting, and works of mercy. Sister Grace Ann gave me permission to share this. So after encountering our sisters, I started being just a tiny, tiny bit more open to the possibility of the idea of a religious vocation. And through time spent in adoration, the Lord really spoke to my heart and asked me if I would consider leaving behind Ireland, my country, my family, my boyfriend, heels, and Irish chocolate to embark on a great barefoot adventure out of love for him, barefoot adventure. And today, 16 years later, I literally have 2 of these habits, neither of which technically belong to me, to avow poverty, and 1 pair of sandals that I pretty much wear every day unless it's raining. It doesn't rain as much here as it does back home. All of which brings me to the point of just simply expressing gratitude for your presence here this evening. Like a lot of gratitude. Just thank you for being here. And also to ask you to consider financially supporting us tonight and going forward, but in whatever way you feel led to do so. We want to acknowledge that you may already be supporting us at a level that you feel led to do so. And if that's the case, we want to simply express our heartfelt gratitude for your ongoing support in helping us to live our mission to glorify God and make known His merciful love. Some of you may know that approximately 73% of our annual income comes from donations. It's a high number, 73%. This is because a lot of our sisters are in community assignments that do not produce salaries. For example, our sisters who are in formation, the sisters who form them, our sisters in the kitchen cooking meals for 18 people every day. That is an assignment we've decided warrants immediate canonization upon death. No miracles needed. The sister in maintenance, our Reverend Mother, the sister running vocation retreats, etc. So out of a total community of 38 women, that's including our 2 postulants, Mary Kate and Emma, we have just 12 sisters who receive salaries for working on college campuses. We do also receive stipends for doing parish missions and giving talks, but that is not regular income for us. So to put it frankly, in order to actually exist and to do what we do, we rely upon your help. and the help of other friends who are not able to make it here tonight. So we really do appreciate whatever support you are able to give us, whatever support, spiritually and financially. At the same time, I do want to acknowledge that these are tougher times economically, and so we respect entirely whatever decision you make with regard to the level of support that you are able to give to us.